timing I'm on. Can't fuck with this rhyming I'm on. Seen them talk, now all of them gone. Seen that dog, I gave it a bone. They like, what is he on? On God, all you my sons. On God, I kill you for fun. On God, there can only be one. Call me Unc, now watch me walk it out. It's on sight, we blast, not talk it out. Kill you goofies, fuck as you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you talking about. 26-year-old dropout. Made 6 figures when I clocked out. Mama said, get my degree, got that with a breeze. Now I rock when my cock out.
Put it on God, put it on Jesus, put it on Yah, put it on Bezel, put it on Allah, put it on Reason, put it on I, put it on we, put it on God, put it on Shiva, put it on Ra, put it on Edith. See the facade and I leave it. Death isn't one, it'll come in a 3.
Another soul I'm out here slaying. Another body out there decaying. Another false god y'all obeying. Another lie getting paraded. Live the truth, watch me demonstrate it. Showed you love even though you hate it. Know the day that your death is fated. I'll make sure that I never say it. Really, I'm not the one to play with. When I knock on that door, it's time to let go. Just give me your soul. I sever that cord, you lose the control. I'm racking up spirits, they racking up dough. Dealing that piece on the low. I cheat on my goals, my words really go. Got more than enough, but it's time to get more.
Put it on God, put it on Jesus, put it on Yah, put it on Bezel, put it on Allah, put it on Reason, put it on I, put it on we, put it on God, put it on Shiva, put it on Ra, put it on Eve. Facade and I leave it. Death isn't one, it'll come in a 3. Please just
call me Unc, now watch me walk it out. It's on sight, we blast, not talk it out. Kill you goofies, fuck as you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you talk about. 34-year-old tapped in. Driver's seat, I'm strapped in. Serving all over your lane, I must be insane. Dying, I'm laughing.
Put it on God, put it on Jesus, put it on Yah, put it on Bezel, put it on Allah, put it on Reason, put it on I, put it on we, put it on God, put it on Shiva, put it on Ra, put it on Edith. See the facade and I leave it. Death isn't one, it'll come in a 3.
Can't fuck with this timing I'm on. Can't fuck with this rhyming I'm on. Seen them talk, now all of them gone. Seen that dog, I gave it a bone. They like, what is he on? On God, all you my sons. On God, I kill you for fun. On God, it can only be.
Say it. Say vagina.
Vagina.
See, that's what I'm talking. Vagina. Give me some of that vagina.
I just need a lick, she just need dick. She wanna see my magic stick. Said I could put it in just the tip. Sex so good, she left me a tip. She never seen no magic like this. She got that fire kitty, had to give it a kiss. Like, show me your vagina, vagina. It's been missing, tell me, can you find her? Show me your vagina, vagina. Got you dripping, dripping like designer. I was going home to beat my meat. Then I saw you cross the street. Nails on fleek, your hair elite. Wondering, can I take a seat? I can. Sweet, it's nice to meet. How you doing? How's your week? All this small talk got me weak. Let's continue under the sheets. We can keep it discreet. I know you like that. I know you a freak. I just wanna see if you really like that. When I beat it, you fight back. When I bite, you bite back. I just wanna lick you to the right track. Show me your vagina, vagina. I need to see it. It's been missing. Tell me, can you find her? Show me your vagina, vagina. I know you wanna. Got you dripping, dripping like designer.
It was love at first sight, that's why we fucked the first night. Got you lusting for my touch until I quench your thirst, right? All on the low, nobody knows. Love like an amateur, fuck like a pro. Your blowjob interview was hot, so I hired you on the spot. When I'm in it, always hit the spot. Got you shaking, twitching, dripping, moaning, making love non-stop. No connecting flights for where we going. Got you feeling like you rolling ludicrous. I got the potion, it's Peace D, no DTP. I just want you to
show me your vagina. Please show me your vagina. Please show me. It's been missing, tell me, I need to see it. Show me your vagina, vagina. Got you dripping, dripping like designer. I just need a lick, she just need dick. She wanna see my magic stick. Said I could put it in just the tip. Sex so good, she left me a tip. She never seen no magic like this. She got that fire kitty, had to give it a kiss.
You're making us pay for water, you son of a... You're making us pay for grapes, apples, things that God gave us for free. Ha! Ha! Da, 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 bosha. You will burn in hell when I'm through with you.
Bosha. Yup. That was quite the year. We got a couple hits in. It's gonna follow it up next year. That cringe tape is coming out next year, guys. I just need 2 more tracks. That tape is followed by the cringe tape. Orlando Brown's the best part of that song. Thank God. Shout out to him. So yeah, man. Welcome to the new moon in Sagittarius in the land of Sagittarius. I'm gonna break down this next 2 weeks from this new moon to the full moon in Cancer. And yeah, shout out to y'all. We did a lot of fun stuff this year, y'all. It's quite the irony because this year versus next year is gonna really switch up. Shout out to you, Crystal Sun. I got the thumbnail. So yeah, just take your time with that. As soon as I get the text, I'm gonna put it up there. We got a nice planetary angelic magic course on the way for you guys. So should be fun. That being said, guys, we are activating this brand new cycle, quite literally breaking through into the new world. What makes me call this the final breakthrough is, of course, this is the last new moon in the breakthrough harvest fall portion before we step into winter. Not yet. I would love to start with short films before I do like movies. That's like the ultimate goal of this channel. So once like the education part is done and I get all the courses and videos out, yeah, 2026 is gonna be my year. Time has humbled us. But shoot, I'll say it. 2026 is about to be my year. Shout out to the horses. If you a metal horse that was born 1990, we up, bitch. All right, from February. Yo, this is the horse year. So 2026 is gonna be my year, that's for sure. And if you're a Leo, Jupiter is gonna be in Leo. So Leo is gonna be your year after July too. So it is what it is. But that being said, this is a very monumental period. Saturn and Neptune is coming out of Pisces, releasing and unlocking the delusional stronghold that false false beliefs and narratives have had over the entire collective for 30, 60, 90, over 2 centuries, millennia. All right. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this new world comes through Pluto and Sag all the way to Pisces. Of course, Aqua is being born right now. These are the God Slayers. They're going to completely change everything that's been believed as, scientific fields get innovated. Gnosis rises in quality, right? And it's just very amazing. This idea of letting people label you demon worshipers or say that what you're doing is defunct, despite that they're drawing on straight cap and just canon fiction. So it's beautiful. Thank you. I'm grateful you're still making streams and skits. Oh yeah, we're not going to stop that regardless of what we do. I'm gonna work my schedule around it. But yeah, once the education is done, I want to dedicate this channel to like short movies, skits, sitcoms, like exclusive original shit. So we'll get there when we get there. It's been rough for everyone. I don't blame you guys for trying new things. This is year 9. We're all being shifted into new avenues and arenas, and that's where what I mean. I never entirely did this for the money. So this whole idea of the spiritual community and money, I got you, bro, kind of taking a hit, it's tested my integrity, and it hasn't necessarily changed anything. It doesn't really change my trajectory or stop, whether there's like one person supporting or 20. I know why I'm doing this. I know the need for this. I know the demand for this. So I mean, you guys rocking with me, I'm gonna rock with you. Shout out to 1090 Jake. I did kind of steal it right now. But that being said, you know what I mean? Um, because my motive isn't that a hit in that, which I don't even see as a hit, it's just redirection. A whole lot of the demographic around this is switching before entire new generations come back on and push this forward. You know, I'm really here for just getting this information out and practicing this as a craft. So, you know, we're gonna keep it pushing. Um, you have waves going through this, and I push that word out to anybody else who may be feeling discouraged. um I mean, you even seen it with hip hop this year. People are saying every industry in some sense is getting hit. They're saying hip hop hasn't been on the Billboard charts, right? And people are saying, is there anything wrong with hip hop, ignoring the fact that some of the best work came out this year. This year is produced in many genres. I've mentioned country having a renaissance, a lot of good music. So if we're kind of getting distracted by the aftermath of the end of the world, like we're literally coming out of the end game, Saturn and Neptune and Pisces. That's why I'm calling this a final breakthrough into the new world. As you can see, in about a year from now, Saturn and Neptune is in Aries, Uranus is in Gemini, Pluto is in Aquarius, Jupiter is in Leo. These are all the pillars of the new world that the budding Pluto Sagittarius generation is coming of age. Pluto Aqua generation betas are being born. And the generation Alpha Pluto Capricorns, they're getting ready over the next 24 years to really step into their position, making us millennials and Gen Xers just look like old news. All right. So with that being said, I ask you to really revisit the entire year and how your faith and your belief has been shaken, challenged, and tested. Don't live in denial like many people did when their beliefs were pretty much shown to their face to be bullshit, and be willing to adapt. Were there many things that I believed that I had to change? No, because I'm literal perfection. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, there are things that, of course, I had to hold myself accountable to, and I accepted I was wrong, and I changed my beliefs. Now we stay on point here, so nothing truly foundational was shaken, but there were certain adjustments. And when you seek truth, you're okay with being wrong. Like, you're okay with getting certain details wrong. You're okay with maybe having to shift your perspective. It's not that deep. But when you attach your identity to these beliefs that were shaky at best, it could feel like your whole world is kind of shutting down. I'm glad I stayed skeptical about Trump. See, what it comes for me with Trump, I knew what President Trump represented. So nothing that President Trump did this year came as a surprise to me. He's a mutable sign. So people are going to fluctuate his support with him. Hate him, love him, hate him, love him. I knew from the get-go President Trump is going to have things that are really good and really bad. And I looked at him as far as not just an agitator, but the what's the word? Not litmus test. I knew he was going to be the figure that would push things forward for better or for worse. And I kind of had that contingency. Whether he's like the worst or the best, I knew he was the guy for the job. So seeing all this flip-floppy shit, I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know exactly how, right? I knew people would be pushed to protest against him. I knew he would shake shit up. And I knew that there would be flip-flopping against his supporters. And all of that shit hit my bingo book this year. Everything. I literally, it's not like I predicted every specific thing, but I even predicted the second round of the Hunger Games, guys. And he announced the Patriot Games. Come on, you're gonna have to give me that one. You're gonna have to give me that one, guys. I was just being completely honest. I told you round 2 is starting, and they're gonna call it the Squid Games. We got the Patriot Games. Cool. Okay. So
Yeah, he's definitely a disruptive influence, and that's what the world needs right now. And people are getting too caught up on this binary sense of he's evil, he's good, they're evil, there's no one good but God, if you want to take it that way. Everyone has whatever darkness they're hiding. So I'm not really judging based on that. I'm judging based on the purpose of what your position is and what's going to happen. And I just don't want you to get so caught up in maybe politics and world issues as they are trending right now in a way that makes you completely lose the plot. All right. So, because you will get caught up in outrage marketing, and the whole purpose of this is to harvest your own emotions so that in these states you take actions that don't truly reflect who you are authentically. The authentic you does not give a fuck about any of this shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But if we attach most of these issues with core defining values you stand for, it's gonna rope you into it. And that's where, those that know their God will do exploits. But that's where personally, uh at this stage, you want to ask yourself, are you ready for the new world? So we had the new moon Libra, we had the new moon in Scorpio, opposite, of course, Uranus. And now we have the new moon in Sagittarius, exactly King Kunk's Uranus. And that's the most important thing of what I want to talk about relative to this new moon. We have a 28-degree Uranus in Taurus, and then we have a 28-degree sun and moon in Sagittarius. And what are they squaring? 29 degrees Neptune in Pisces. All right. So we have made it to completion. Not only have we completed the March 17th activation that we had at 27 degrees Pisces with the North Node, but now we are activating sun and moon, activating what? Breakthrough. The sun and moon are 270 degrees from Saturn and Neptune. So we are activating this final point of perspective that is transforming actively Uranus and Taurus, innovating our physiological senses and our self-worth. And that is completing this promise of God, this universal sense of where we are shifting our beliefs. And as Pluto goes through Aquarius, give yourself grace if you don't know everything that's meant to happen. Certainty is an illusion. So, like, given that you perceive less than 0.1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, being certain about everything that's happening is an illusion that you may have picked up from society to keep running your hamster wheel. In a era where all the systems set in place and the infrastructure, you're going to see completely phase as we update technology, update infrastructure, update mindsets, beliefs, and new levels, new devils, baby. So, like I mentioned before, we're activating this completion. And when you do not get with the program of certain beliefs others want you to, they dismiss you. And that should let you know who actually recognizes you as you are versus those who wish that you fit into the box of their own understanding. And I want you to ask yourself, are you just some insert character that's supposed to fit into the box of someone's beliefs? Or are you a living, breathing being that defies expectations? All right. Whose legacy has been written in the stars before you even took your first breath. All right. Tap your man and ask him what he knows about the Mazzaroth. The entirety of language as it exists and the Bible most people read come from the Mazzaroth, which they purposefully never translated in Hebrew. The Mazzaroth is the 12 signs, not 13 to 12. Okay. So, astrology is not a religion. It's more akin to a language. It's nothing you believe in. You either know it or you don't. I don't believe in God. I know God. I know the universal force. Hopefully you do too. Separation is an illusion. And when you know God, you know that I'm not separate from you. You're not separate from me. We all come from this same eternal ocean as we are droplet expressions of the infinite. And that just sounds poetic and beautiful. But, who knows how much stranger truth is than fiction. All right. Other than that, okay. As we kind of break through this final breakthrough, we're going to step into the conclusion phase. So Capricorn, Aqua, and Pisces represent the conclusion phase of this cycle, where as of present, we've made it to the finale, the climax. Okay. Now, I did tell you that Sagittarius season might end off with a bang, right? We're having the season 3 finale plot twist. The season 2 finale plot twist we know was the turning point. The season 3 finale plot twist looks like the Epstein list being released. A little weak, if you ask me. I didn't even look it up. I don't care about that anymore. Once they started flip flopping on that, I was like, okay, y'all playing this. But like that being said, I heard it was redacted to hell. So that is quite of a letdown of a season 3 finale. But hey, we got 2 more days. Who knew? Of course, they had to put the Jake Paul fight to distract people. That's the hey, one thing. Oh, thank you. No, I'm not going to engineering school. At least, yeah, I did before, but I'm gonna go back after. But thank you. Yeah, electrical. No, you straight. You straight. Appreciate you. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, that being said, you're not wrong. I'm eventually gonna go back to that. But that being said, guys, the conspiracy theories have been A1. One thing that never disappoints are the conspiracy theories. A lot of these theories this year reached into heaven, but some were accurate. Okay, it is what it is. We got some closure for some previous theories, and it's definitely going to let you know what to release moving forward, and that's the whole point of moving forward from this point. This point was the point. Yeah. So Capricorn, Aqua, Pisces is the conclusion of a film after the climax. So you've beat your Link, you've beat Ganon, right? Lord of the Rings, Endgame, Infinity War is a little different, but after the climax, you have the conclusion. You start to basically review the whole point of everything you went through, the conflict. When you think of things as a story writer, things of course like get even crazier, you know what I mean, in noticing patterns. And I feel like for racists who like pattern recognition, you should love space racism because it's pattern recognition on an actual scientific level. But that being, instead of like there's a non-scientific, pseudoscientific version of space racism, but we champion the scientifically sound space racist endeavors to at least do it right. So, you think it's funny now, all your children are going to be space racists. Remember, I said this at the end of 2025. Right now, space racism is still unfortunately misunderstood. All your kids and their kids are going to be experienced space racists with institutions that teach and foster their inherent space racism. So you might as well get on this now before your kids and their kids just look at you as old geezers practicing maybe an old form of outdated race-based racism or color-based racism. Like, that's just so fucking 19th, 18th century. It's disgusting. Anyway, that being said, right? Discriminate against someone because they're a water sign and you're a fire sign, not because they're from a different color than you. Like, that's just so primitive and predated. Other than that, guys, right? This is very powerful, and we are especially switching the lever here that's going to completely break through everything you've done once again since March 17th. And let's actually go back there. Let's look back like 9 months ago, where we had the 6 months ago, we had the Gemini season that's setting up this breakthrough right now. And then, of course, March 17th, this is March 20th, when we were conjunct Neptune, we had the conjunction of Saturn, North Node, Neptune. So if you go back to the week of March 17th, this was the period where you had made a promise with God, right? I call this God's promise on your life. You're getting ready to come out of Noah's Ark. And this was you surveying, this is everything I believe I can accomplish. This is everything I believe I'm meant to accomplish. This is everything that I believe right now through Gemini season of your mindset, and then Virgo season of behavioral patterns. Boom, shakalaka, you translated that. Boom. All right. So now September was where, since March, where you're like, this is what I believe I can do. September was where you were like, this is how I made my beliefs real. And now Sagittarius season is showing you the integration of these new behavioral patterns aligning with these belief systems in the form of a philosophical vision and the synthesis of higher meaning that shows you quite literally what this entire breakthrough looks like. All right. And this, I think, is the most important transit we are having all year, happening literally right now. All right. The moon conjunct the sun is activating this 0-degree activation of magic, chaos magic, not ceremonial magic, chaos magic. And congratulations, David. All right. So, and that's beautiful. This is going to break through everything you planted the seeds for in March, began to break those seeds to the ground and integrate in July. Began to harvest in September, and now you're completing this harvest. All right. Lucky divine, they're gonna do it whether you want it or not. Okay. All right, so this is beautiful. Now moving forward, now that we're completing breakthrough, this is gonna show you through Capricorn the accomplishments and rewards, through Aquarius the rewards and review, and through Pisces more review, coming into Aries season of activating the new world. Why is this important? Over the next 3 months, we are at the end of the end game. So everything that has to change before we have this eclipse finally in Pisces is going to be happening right now. And with Mercury in Sagittarius, expect these things to be happening pretty fast. And that's what brings us back once again to the 210-degree closing quincunx with Uranus in Taurus and the sun and moon in Sagittarius. Venus itself getting ready to square Saturn and Neptune are now polishing through your heart in the way you give and receive pleasure in relationships this lesson of how your belief systems and everything you quite literally believe, and Neptune's push to transcend beyond your understanding these beliefs, have stretched your imagination so that you can prepare to apply this self-concept of who you believe you are and everything you believe into Aries, where we direct this and apply these beliefs on your character. Next year is going to involve this new world order cycle of defining your character and who you are in this new age and what path is there for you in this new age, with which North Node Aries had unlocked. And I don't mean new age mysticism. I mean like this new era. The last time we stepped into a new era was 1996. Now we're coming back to another Sun, Saturn, Aries 2026. That's an exact 30 years, baby. So this is going to be monumental with Uranus going out of Taurus into Gemini. And what you're going to begin to experience with the quincunx to Uranus, which has been innovating since 2018, your physical senses and your value. And then since 2010 in Aries, your entire identity, right? Which you're now applying through Taurus. This with Sagittarius is going to transform through your higher minded perspective how it is you even sense phenomena physiologically, and let me say the controversial word, supernaturally, baby. So I need you to clap for yourself. I need you to clap for yourself right now, because this is what you're activating vision that you're immediately going to direct and ground through Capricorn, pushing forward and further seeing as Mercury and Venus leave Sagittarius, quite literally everything you've accomplished. And going through the fog of Pisces, many of you might have looked at what you're going through and understated, undermined, and underestimated the significance of everything you've accomplished. We're closing out old world cycles. So when you finish a deal foreclosing the mortgage or whatever contracts you had before, that's not when you're doing new shit. It's not until you sign the new contracts, which are going to do late January, late March. All right. So some of you might be shooting yourselves in the foot, expecting more out of yourself in a period where you need to congratulate yourself from making it out of an old world cycle that many of your peers died and have never made it out through. There are so many people who have died through this first round of the Hunger Games, and their soul has evicted from their body. They're back into the great ocean. There are so many more people who have lost their individuality and folded through conforming to social expectations that betray who the fuck they even are. So you need to ask yourself a question. Not like it has to be an illusion of choice. So it's not just these two options, but are you the person who folded and you traded your individuality for acceptance from other people who don't even recognize you? They only have the idea of who they think you should be. At your age, you shouldn't be wearing no Pokemon Pikachu headphones. You're still watching cartoons at your age? Yes, bitch. Pika Pika. Choo. Yes, now you got shocked, ho. Or did you stand your ground and not fucking fold in integrity with everything you believed, having to face ostracization, denial, dismissal? One person traded their individuality and gained fake love. Others of you stuck with self-love and you had to deal with hate from other people, even if subconsciously. Because whether people admit it or not, when you go against their beliefs, there is going to be some subconscious tension there. Okay. So for those of you who didn't fold, trust me where I say the next 30 years for you is sealed in victory. Though you may have fought alone, victory, absolute victory is yours. Because now all the integrity tests that are going to haunt people over the next 2 years alone, you already passed the test. From that end game chapter from 2020 up until now, especially 2018 up until now, right? Most of the tests you were hit with, you didn't fold then. If you didn't fold back then, you're not going to fold coming in. This is the most important thing I'm saying right now. If you did not fold over the past 5 to 4 years, you're not going to fold over the next 7 years because you're going to recognize it. And I don't mean you have to ground your decisions in conspiracy theories that are baseless and just fear-monger people. I'm talking off of things that you stood on, that evidence proved you were right for believing. You had integrity in those beliefs, and people conveniently forgot and are just cherry-picking evidence that feeds their confirmation bias. You didn't fall for the bullshit. You're not going to fall for it again. You're going to recognize it, because now you're going to take the steps to build on this integrity you've established. This is not any preferential treatment. We're not more special than other people, guys. It's just they made a choice and we made our choice. We chose not to compromise our individuality and integrity in order to be accepted by people who don't even see us for who we are, but what they believe we should be. And only weak little bitches did that. Only weak little bitches gave it away because they didn't want to be talked about and they didn't want to piss off the wrong people. They didn't want to lose their job or blah, blah, blah. And now they're going to have to lay in that bed when now the consequences of their actions they have to stick to. And that might be right for other people. I don't want to set it up that they're worse or they're better or we're better. These are just the facts. Okay. And of course, now everything you've sowed, that's what you're going to reap. That's personal. That's based on what actions you've put in to do that. All right. You didn't let the WLBs psychologically manipulate you with fear in order to shift the path God gave you to walk. It's not the path you're given to walk is not supposed to make sense to anyone else but you and God and anybody else who is aligned with that, who through actual results and actions and experiences, you can see whether you're just feeding your own confirmation bias or you're making practical breakthroughs. And thank you for conscious. That's why all the people who refuse to accept the truth you're saying have at no point attacked or debunked anything you said. They attacked your character. They threw names at you. They begged the question. They appealed to false authority. They displayed persuasive definitioning to lump what you do in a box. but no one could ever say a single word that's true against what it is you stand for and believe. That is a form of victory. You have proven you are battle tested. So now when we step into this next war arc, because let me tell you something, the rest of this decade is plunged in war. The first 5 years of this, right? 2020 with Saturn, Mars, and Capricorn, 2022 with Saturn, Mars, and Aquarius, 2024 with Saturn, Mars, and Pisces, were the activations of war cycles that we're going to see integrate and play out the rest of the decade. Those just activated the conflicts with Russia and Ukraine, with Gaza and Israel. And now we're going to see how this continues to shape world politics. Not even with like what's previously happened. Remember, a lot of this shit is a stage and a show. And it's with real people's lives, which is fucked up. With that being said, money still has to be made. Wait till you find out that most of these resources, like gas and stuff you pay for, have been obsolete for like thousands of years. No one cares about Africa. Let's just be completely honest. No one gives a fuck about Sudan. No one gives a fuck about Ethiopia or South America. All right. They only care about Africa when it's time to grift donations. So let's just keep it a buck. It just wasn't as important. Okay. America versus South America is coming soon. So let's see what happens with that. All right. The cartels in Mexico and Venezuela. All right. So you have to look at this like, in a sense, it's a stage, and people are making the decisions they may not even know they have to make in order to push forward how this flow is going to. That doesn't mean that they're not above criticism or justice, but just understand when you see things going in a certain direction, a lot of these things stemmed from the 70s when Saturn was last in Aries, from the 90s when Saturn was last in Aries. We're concluding a lot of these cycles. Most of the adults making these decisions will not be alive in 30 years. I'm going to say that again. Most of the adults and leaders who have made these decisions over the past 90 years are not going to be alive over the next 30 years. We are going to see one of the greatest transfers of authority and wealth we have ever seen over the next 30 years. The baby boomer generation, not the silent generation, but the baby boomers and the ones before them hold all the wealth right now. They're not going to be alive much longer. They have like 30, 40, 50 years. And given how much they've built what we have now, I'm not saying this negatively or positively, it's factually. You're going to see a lot of wealth transfer from them to Gen X and millennials and Gen Zs. You're going to see a lot of authority. That's why the election of Mamdani, I think is interesting, because he's a millennial like us. He was born in 91. He's born in like 91, 92. Like this is the beginning of this transfer. Seeing people like AOC in office, born in the 90s. You're going to see a lot more people in the 90s take power, and eventually the 2000s as well. And once you hit that Pluto Libra, Pluto Scorpio point, everyone born after the 80s, like specifically 82, 85, think entirely different than people who were born in the 60s and mid 70s. Okay. Mid 70s is a little different, but like the 60s, the 50s, the 90s kids are going to pioneer the revolution. This is very important. And there are 90s kids who believe what current leaders do now is just the nature with which this is going to happen. Pluto Scorpio, you're going to have Pluto square in Aquarius. So we're here. This is why I'm calling this the final breakthrough into the new world. We're closing off this Saturn Neptune cycle, and we're stepping into some new shit you've never seen, like AI sex robots and job replacement, the likes of which you've never seen. But hey, hopefully we'll get rid of world hunger. No. And sex robots. I'm just joking. So, like, once again, guys, 30, 60, 90 years of these Saturn cycles, right? We have 97, we have like 71, 69, 71. Before that, I think we have like 40s or 30s, right? But unlike those previous 30-year cycles, this is the first time we're concluding on Neptune. I think you don't want to underestimate this Sagittarius square to Neptune. The Sagittarius square to Neptune represents over 165 years of chaos and of transcendence and illumination for humankind. Just to think, the last time Neptune was in Pisces, there was a Dred Scott decision of a Supreme Court wondering if Black people are even human and deserve rights. And now Neptune is back in Pisces, and for a split second, we wondered if non-vaccinated people deserve the same rights. And now we're talking about trans rights. Oh, look at that. My bad. So Neptune is going to be in Aries. Was not in Aries. Neptune was 1 degree Aries when America had its first civil war. And now we have a president who I think if ever there was going to be another civil war, he's going to be in office when it happens. Like, I don't know. I could be wrong. We really have to ponder the year 1860. The 1800s are more relevant now than they've ever been. I never thought in my entire life I would ever say that. There's 1776, Pluto Capricorn, but then there's the 1860s. Right? America is trans-Israeli. We have our first Jewish president with President Trump. His words, not mine. What episode of Black Mirror is this? All right. So here's the thing, guys. If you think that the first year of his presidency, if you think that everything you've seen this year, the whole idea of parasocialism, or I don't know if parasocialism is a word, but I'm using it now. Parasocial activity, if you think that is weird, if everything you have seen this year is weird, I need you to check out now, because it's about to get exponentially weirder, guys. All 2025 was a sneak peek of what the rest of the decade is about to be. Next year is about to be literally 10 times weirder. We had a sneak peek of Pluto in Aquarius. We had a sneak peek of Uranus in Gemini. Uranus in Gemini brought us Mecha Hitler. Just letting you know that right now. Like this next year is about to be the beginning of some new themes you've never seen before. There's nothing new under the sun. I promise you, at least 10 times. And that's where I want to talk about parasocial relationships. Parasocial relationships are not new. I think they even predate the internet. However, the idea of parasocial nature, in light of augmented technology that's going to innovate so much, I'm saying this because people have been complaining and remarking on how ridiculous it's been. School shootings, mass shootings. I need you to understand, you have not seen anything. The president has Uranus in Gemini. He's going to have a Uranus return. Like, you have not seen anything. You think Geminis are crazy now? You haven't even seen our final form. Like, you're about to see that shit coming into the next couple of years. Uranus and Gemini. Jupiter merely expanded the level of intellect that we can express. So you just got to remember who you are and how you got here. If people are karmically distant, it just happens. Sometimes it's time to come out of other people's lives. You open space for different people and vice versa. Okay. So I want to commend you. I want to congratulate you. I want you to embrace your mistakes. I want you to embrace what you have to get better. I want you to embrace all the good with the bad. I want you to look at situations that seem like dead ends and tell yourself it does not end with that. It ends when you decide it's over. All right. Even if the fat lady sings, we are not folding. We are not quitting. We are not giving up. We're getting through the issues. We're not stopping there. Okay. So as we prepare for late January and late March, I want to say I'm grateful for each and every single one of you. I'm proud of every single one of you. I know a lot of you guys are saying you've seen growth in me, and I fully understand that y'all have gone through even a more amazing growth. Okay. And, you know, it's a lot to look forward to as we're going to guide the next generation. The past 30 years was us being guided by Generation X and baby boomers. And I want to give huge props to the Pluto Leos, Pluto Virgos, and Pluto Libras who were in integrity, because we've had the luxury of internet. All right. The people born in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, they didn't have the luxury of the internet. They didn't have the luxury of having social media platforms really bring light to a lot that they put in work to carry forth to us. And I don't think they get enough credit for that. I think it's very easy for us to point out what their generation did bad. Their generation is so important for carrying forth a lot of this wisdom to us. And many of them have been ostracized at a level way worse than we might have been. And they didn't have the opportunity to until late to finally kind of come into closure. So I want to honor each and every single one of you, specifically Pluto Virgo and some of you Pluto Leos, who held it down for us and didn't fold when it was so much easier for other people too. When COINTELPRO was at its height, when all these movements were at their height to whether pro or anti-government, to just deceive people. Yeah, they got to play with psychedelics. They had their dead stock. So, you know, they had stuff we didn't have. We have stuff they didn't have. But it all connects together. What's Pluto's exaltation? I have no idea. That's a really good question. It would suggest Taurus is the detriment, but I think Leo's. I don't think Leo. I don't know. That's a very good question. If it's Leo, then it's at its fall in Aquarius. But let me see. Let me ask Google. Some people don't consider exaltations. So according to Google, Pluto is exalted in Aries. So Pluto's exaltation isn't universally agreed upon, but many modern astrologers place it in Aries, sometimes in Leo. All right. So yeah, nobody knows. Nobody knows, basically. That being said, you know, I want you guys to take stock, because everything moving forward is about to move very fucking fast. And if you get caught up in all the dramatic news that's going to shake culture, you're going to lose the plot. You're going to forget what all of this development was for in the first place. Not for you to completely change everything because some social movement told you that you're racist or you support genocide or you're anti-American because you don't follow them. Like, this is gonna be so much more grifts, I'm telling you. But you're continuing on the unique path that only you know you can walk. All right. And most times it's not popular to do that. Most times you're not going to get celebrated by the internet or people. Most times you're not going to get the most views because you're not saying what people want to hear, but you're doing what is meant to be done, specific to you in connection with the rest of the collective. Shout out to Lido Guapo. All right, shout out to all my 1990s brothers and sisters. We about to kill it next year. Yeah, the horse, flip a coin. So we're going to break down the next 2 weeks. I wanted to really, once again, talk about the quincunx and the square. The square to Neptune is huge because the last time we've had a square to Neptune at 29 degrees at this capacity was the 1800s, like 1860. All right. Which is a long time. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius like this, France was having a revolution determining whether it wanted to still be, it would decide it didn't want to be a monarchy. Right. And now it's like the new monarchy are these corporations, it's corporate oligarchies, right? And I'm not saying they have to be overthrown, but we are going to see massive shifts considering how a lot of power is going to shift and center into the individual out of the collective until it comes back there. That being said, tomorrow we're going to have the exact square to Neptune. And as we push forward this quincunx to Uranus, it's going to apply this transformation of perspective, transformation of your physiology, actually, and drive your perspective forward towards, over the next 20 years, increasingly in an exponential fashion, seeing into the supernatural and discerning the metaphysical. but this time without the delusion of religious systems and structures that pretty much finesse the fuck out of your entire consciousness by selling your own divinity towards a European or maybe even ancient African interpretation of mysticism and the idea of God. Okay. And some people may not like this because certain beliefs are just comfortable to sit in. They're culturally defined. Religious ethnocentrism. I recently learned the word on the internet, so I don't know how to say it entirely. But these things are no longer going to have the hold that they've had before, which blocked a lot of discovery because they were filtered through these false principles. And through your own direct experience, you're going to be demystifying almost everything you've ever been taught. But let's talk about the beginning of this completion. We're going to do, of course, the the monthly peace report on Monday, where we're going to talk about Capricorn season, but we're immediately going to shift into the moon in Capricorn. So we're going to end Sagittarius season off with the moon in Capricorn, immediately grounding and driving this perspective. Now, we had the moon in Capricorn about a month ago when we had initially entered Sagittarius, right? After Scorpio, and that grounded our vision. Now we're going to ground the steps that with Mars we're directing through our desire. All right. And I think a whole lot of how this is going to continue to complete this breakthrough is now, for the first time since we've gone through this Pisces portal, wrap around the rewards, we're going to begin to tangibly touch a lot of things you've been doing that have been delayed, a lot of things you've been working towards. You're going to be seeing practical action steps, especially as the sun catches up to Mars with Venus, and very greatly drive forward. It is at this time, by the way, mind you, that I would like to enact this ritual now that the moon has officially made it over the sun. What I want you to do, and all we have to do for this ceremony, is as simple. We're going to reconvene in 2 weeks. And all I want you to do right now, while I'm explaining this, is to hold your vision. All right. 2 weeks ago for the full moon, we did the ritual for our magic word that activates this vision. We release the intention. Now we're activating new vision, chaos magic. Your mission, should you choose to accept, is to stand on your own too for what you promised yourself you're going to accomplish. And now you must see it. You must align this vision with your beliefs. I believe I'm sexy as fuck. So I'm seeing myself as my sexiest, whether I'm in a burlap sack or I'm wearing Hermes. Okay, I'm too sexy. I'm too successful. We set for life. And I still maintain and hold the fact that we are fucking set for life. Give time the time necessary to unfold this for you, as you are a constant moment to moment unfolding of your greatest dreams. All right. You are the one sperm cell that made it out into the egg. And we could talk about how unlikely that was. But that being said, I want you to see in your mind's eye what this completion and success looks like. Right now, I'm seeing all of us chilling in a meetup and a convention, and we're all excited about everything we've accomplished, how we've made it through our journeys, how we broke through everyone who at every step of the way tried to demean us, tried to see us as less than we are, because they were so angry that the truth we live exposes the lie of the life they have and believe. All right. So of course, it didn't stop us, because what's real can't be threatened. So I'm looking at this meetup we have in Vegas. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing 12 House Queen Bee roll up in a Ferrari. I'm seeing Lucky Divine fly in through private jet. You feel me? Like, I'm seeing it. It's square Neptune. I'm supporting it. with the wildest dreams and fantasies. Like, I'm allowed to be Delulu here when I'm making sure my vision is centered in truth and I see it. Everything that I'm moving forward in is tapped into this vision. I'm not worried about what might go wrong because I already seen the end vision. That's it. That's quite literally it. Your mission, should you choose to accept, is to see the vision that completes the promise you gave to yourself and God gave to you, and to apply it as you take these steps through Capricorn. Okay. Many of you, I can imagine, are going to be seeing yourself, quote unquote, abundant, rich, wealthy. So as you push forward, don't let any hiccups financially stop you from seeing that vision. Don't let a loss of money make you forget that in your vision you're rich as fuck. You're going to keep moving forward. All right? Because of course wealth is not just physical. However, and like you can believe the people who are sarcastic and be like, money does buy happiness and blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Starve someone to death and tell them that they can only eat $100 bills. No offense, yes, or spoiled rotten food. Look, it is what it is. It is what it is. That being said, that's all you have to do. And the reason why is because Gemini set up your mindset, Pisces set up your beliefs, Gemini your mindset, Virgo your habits. So now you have the beliefs, you have the mindset, you have the behavior, and now you're applying all of that towards your vision. That's all you have to do. Then in 2 weeks, we're going to release what that makes us feel with the moon in Cancer, and then we're going to break through this vision, baby. Fast. So the first part is activating this vision. I want you to see it in your mind's eye. It should inspire you. It should excite you. Your visual third eye mental impetus, your mind's eye, creates your reality. This is the science behind Sagittarius being the creator. The massless photons that refract through your chorea and show you this illusion that you see here and are hallucinating help in order for you to create visions and beliefs to quite literally guide the development and defining of your character and your life. So what do you see? Who are you enjoying this success with? And are you ready to stop at nothing to give up, to refuse to give up on this vision? Congrats. Now I want you to, of course, see yourself with all of us, right? In this room party with you're putting your intention in the magic hat. And I want you to see or set the intention that 137 plus people who I'm watching this with, their dreams and visions are coming true too. I see all of that coming true. Boom. That's the connection right there. See how simple that is? You can do that in your own way, in your own words. If you want to write it down, burn it. This is where you can freestyle off of this whole ceremony and make it what you want to as well. Okay, so congrats if you're watching this right now. 130 plus people are setting the intention that, well, your intention is coming true, baby. All right, shout out to my main man, fucking Thunderbird. He's featured me on his new mixtape. I am super honored. I don't think he knows, but like, he's one of the artists that I truly believe in, and I want to make so much more music with before he blows up and makes it, so I could be like, yeah, we used to make music. That being said, yo, folk on IG too. That being said, ooh, see, you gotta have cool people who see you with the right stuff. Elisha, I knew you was a real one. Thank you. All right, I see you with a bad one too, bruh. I see she's smoking. Congrats. Everyone's looking at you like, you hit that, and you just like, you're not even saying nothing. You're just like, no, it is what it is. I see you. All right, Skywalk now. I see your projects are super successful. Like, just speak life, see life in people. Whereas you can choose to see negative and things going wrong, be delusional and see something you never imagined happen and watch what happens. Be okay with being slightly disappointed. Oh my God, Ancient Rose, you're so amazing. Thank you. I woke up in a new Bugatti bought to me from Ancient Rose. I love it. Yep, let her do the talking. That's what you're doing. Yep. I can pay your rent. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm extremely rich. Let's go. All right, he low-key hitting them all. Yup, it is what it is. I'm gonna pull a card after this. Chariot, baby. So this is going to be very, very amazing as you're going to be tested. The final part of this test is, okay, we've tested your beliefs. We've tested your mindset to make sure they align with these beliefs. We've tested your habits to make sure they align with these beliefs. Now we're going to test your vision. Now we're going to test what you see you want to create and how that aligns with your beliefs. Okay. And this is where now I want you to, so that's the ceremony. Just see this vision and carry it forth over the next 2 weeks. Shout out to Nomadic Production. So now, as you carry forth this vision, you're going to be editing and aligning more and adding to this vision. We're going to push forward. And when you're seeing this vision, you're seeing it as it's already complete. That's it. That's what's true for you right now. Trick your brain. The brain doesn't know the difference between what's real or imagined. Convince your brain that's what it is. All right. You don't have to do any crazy, sacred manifestation rituals. Just be a man or woman of your word and commit to your vision. Now we're going to take the practical steps through Capricorn to drive forward this commitment. And the moon going through Capricorn is going to take this vision at its final level, and you're immediately going to apply it towards action. Then the moon's going to go through, of course, Pluto and Aquarius, and it's immediately going to awaken a supernatural understanding of knowledge. I know that sounds crazy. That's going to help you know what you're directing, because Capricorn is the director of the movie. So we're at the conclusion of the movie, reading the director's notes and commentary with the narrator. So now you're coming into a more extraordinary, knowledgeable understanding of what seeds you're planting, helping you know where to take your vision. Then the moon's going to go into Pisces. And as it goes into Pisces, it's going to cross over Neptune for the last time. If I'm correct, by the time we're here next month. Yep. It's going to be, oh, hold on. Okay, we have one more moon Neptune. Yeah. So the last moon Neptune is going to be during Aquarius season. I just wanted to make sure. So this is going to be the second to last moon Neptune in 160 plus years. Huge deal. Huge fucking deal, guys. Excuse my language. So the moon in Pisces by this point is going to shape our direction through our imagination. And we're going to revisit pretty much since March 2023, every which way in which we have pretty much not only tested our beliefs, but unlocked our dreams, quite literally. I think we don't, thank you. I think we don't understand how important this exact moment in time is. A lot of people are talking about this great schism that's going to start to divide people, especially coming into next year. And it's not far from the truth. As far as this ending of the old world is going to, through people's actions, show who is still subscribed to these outdated beliefs and who is getting ready to pioneer these beliefs that belong in a new world that we're activating. It might even take until the rest of the decade for people to realize, oh, we're in a new world. Well, it's happening right now. So the moon in Pisces is not only going to revisit this unlocking of our beliefs and the integrity that's needed, but it's going to complete activation of this new cycle through shaping our direction with our imagination. This is where now the vision you're seeing right now, you're going to, through your imagination, create more nuanced layers and depth of what it is you're seeing, and now how practically you can bring it into form. And then the moon's going to go into Aries, baby. And we're going to have that first quarter square. The seeds are going to start to break from the ground. And this is going to challenge what direction you begin to take this completion into the new world. Remember, this is the beginning of the end game. Aquarius is going to be the middle of the end of the end game. Pisces is going to be the end of the end game. Aries is going to be the whole new world order. Boom. We're out of the end game, coming out of Pisces. So think about what I'm presupposing here. I'm presupposing here that if this is the end of the end game, we're going to see it all end over the next 3 months. Like, we're going to put to an end themes, beliefs, ideas that I think coming out of this breakthrough are going to get ready to continue to change everything everyone has ever believed. And this moon in Aries is going to now integrate this vision and apply it through power, character, and direction. Who you understand you are relative to these decisions that you are concluding this cycle off with. Hence, through Chiron. Then, of course, the moon is going to go through Taurus, and it's going to fully trine this full expression of this universal power, individually grounded through our values, going through Uranus. Then we're going to have the moon in Gemini, and as the moon goes through Mercury's ruler, or what Mercury rules, Mercury is going to go into Capricorn. This is going to be the true intellectual understanding of these decisions we're making and of this cardinal direction that's going to tie together everything. Of course, we're having moon square Neptune and Saturn, making sure that what we think aligns with the beliefs about this direction. And then boom, baby, we're going to have the full moon in Cancer. So that full moon in Cancer is going to incorporate Jupiter in Cancer. This is going to be the first full moon we're having this year with evolution as a key that's going to break through what we're feeling in order to make important decisions we will harvest coming into the moon in Libra. And that's where I will revisit 2 weeks from now, where, of course, we will do the full moon ritual. Do you think that's why a lot of us are getting tired? Like we are fixing to switch major universal gears? Absolutely. Because remember, we don't sync a lot of our culture to this. So the society has you running on a hamster wheel. You're not taking the time out needed to rest your own subconscious mind. And then now it's going to burn you out. Now you're going to have more stress that you're having to process. I mean, think of all the stuff that your brain and subconscious are still processing just from September alone, talk less of the past 4 years. So this conclusion period is going to give you the period to release. And coming into this next Aries, we're going to activate these new seeds and really put in for an entire new world, new world. I also believe I'm the best singer ever. So you heard my glorious voice right now. Okay. And you all deserve this. You all deserve everything you've worked towards. Now let's get a little bit conspiratorial. Some of you have been monitored by agents of this matrix. And some of these beings have like a 4D like consciousness. They can see the different cross frames of third dimensional spaces that show your potential and who you're meant to be. Some of you have identified these people being used as puppets, not even aware they're being used or aware that they are the ones being used or using. So you have been deterred by these forces ahead of time, right? Let's say I knew Lucky Divine and Forest Fairy were going to be figures who bring a lot of people into gnosis. And I was able to see outside of this third dimensional cross frame that coming into 2026, you're going to start to do something because of how you believed in yourself this year. Now, agents of the matrix are in situations putting you through stress, ridiculing you, desperate to make sure you give up this year. Because they know if you can give up on yourself this year, you're never going to do what you're going to do next year. And now they've shifted the timeline, if you want to believe in like a timeline theory. I'm just throwing concepts out there. So the greatest thing you ever did was not give up on yourself. The greatest thing you ever did was shift beliefs that no longer align with who you authentically are. Literally the Truman Show vibes. And this is going to take place through people who try to manipulate you, who want to maintain whatever leverage they have over your lack of belief in self. And the worst thing they saw you do was quite literally believing yourself. That's why for some of you, if believing in yourself, despite having receipts, was met with you being made to feel crazy and delusional, you're being gaslighted. And it's not as simple as to just say, oh, that person's gaslighting me. It's tapping into collective unconscious counterforces that see you as the threat you are, someone that cannot be controlled, put in a box, or manipulated. It's beyond an Illuminati conspiracy. Okay. We can tie in an Ephesians 6:12 conspiracy. That's a Bible verse that really talks about metaphysical mechanics, respective of whether that Bible verse is real or not. It's still referencing something that there's truth into, psyop fatigue. Okay. And this is going to be a lot more noticeable, and this is going to be a lot more dangerous. You are stepping more into your power than ever, and so you are more of a threat than ever. A lot of this perceptual debate-like energy is going to be so much more direct coming into Saturn Aries. It's going to be you fighting for your right to be you, and not allowing people to hand wave BS and say, oh, you're Satanist, you practice the occult, and have people think you're evil because you're actually doing the Lord's work. They hate a regulated nervous system. Okay. Many of you are going to be pioneering modalities, technology, and inventions that uplift people out of dependency, out of billion-dollar corporations. Okay. Huge target on your back. So this is definitely going to, coming into the rest of this cycle up until late March, shape a whole lot of what you're being prepared to break through into this new world with. And as such, the next 3 months ahead are fully geared toward and around you being put in this position, to come into the results and into the rewards, okay, of every, oh my God, I'm going through a hiccup attack. It's the dark forces, guys. The agents of the Matrix are trying to sabotage this video, and they're hitting me with a hiccup beam, so I can't finish what I'm saying. Don't worry, the conspiracy theories are about to be A1 again. I know the conspiracy theories have been kind of ass. We're about to have a whole new lineup of conspiracy theories that you've never seen before. They're going to be fresh. They're going to be original. They're going to actually have some kind of credence. So it's not like they're reaching. Just give it some time. Just give it some time. Yeah, some of them be complete bullshit. At least 2 of them bitches is going to be legit. So don't worry, man. Don't worry, man. Yes, one of them is going to involve the Illuminati. But other than that, this is very beautiful, because we are concluding on development you've done pretty much your whole life. And if you recognize everything you were meant to learn from this year, all you need to do is bring it forward with you. Everything that you lose, this is the most important thing I'm going to say before we end this video. Everything that you lose from now until late March is not meant to go with you into the promised land, into this new world. Any relationships, any assets, any possessions, any mindsets, any beliefs that from now until late March of 2026 fall by the wayside. Say bye, goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Sound of Music is still a classic. That being said, this is only going to bring with you. The only thing you need to bring with you into this new world is your most authentic self. I'm not talking about the greatest idealized version of yourself that you puppet string yourself, carrot string yourself to perpetually accomplish one day. I mean the most authentic, real version of yourself that is here right now. Be here now. You are the only one that can stop you. Other people can, through persuasion, convince you to make a free will decision against your own self and merit, but only you can make that decision. So stand in your power, stand in your strength, stand in your perspective, and we ride at dawn, baby. Okay? So fully be expected that you're not going to make it into this next world with everything you have right now. And have trust and faith in your own self, higher self, universal power. that everything that you're not making it into this late March with, you're not meant to, especially through that eclipse gate in Pisces. And as we full card our way into an entire new paradigm, it has been an honor serving you. Okay. I don't know what might happen to me in between, so God willing, I'm gonna make it there with you guys as well. But God forbid anything happen. Y'all been hella real. All right. Heaven, yes. And it's been quite the honor to serve each and every single one of you. All right. So keep this vision in your mind's eye. See it, overlap and augment your vision in this 3D reality, which is a hallucination. All right. You can look up the video by Anil Seth, ANIL space Seth, SETH. I will keep referencing this TED Talk. It's a TED Talk. Your brain hallucinates your conscious reality. Your mind is constantly catching up to what's happening. So everything you're seeing right now is the past. Your subconscious and your conscious mind are perceiving phenomena that has already happened. By the time your brain is analyzing what you're seeing, it's already happened. Okay. Overlap your vision towards this illusion you're seeing and take steps that align with what you see over the next 2 weeks. We're activating this cycle. When the moon is in Aries, we're going to integrate this vision. And by the time the full moon is in Cancer, we're going to release this vision and feel the harvest. All right. So if you're excited about this practical, tangible completion of quite a cycle, clap for yourself, celebrate, enjoy. And I hope you have a blessed weekend. The major arcana that we have is the star. Make a wish. Make a wish. I wish that all of our dreams come true in alignment with the highest good of all of us. I wish that you have a sexy partner that looks at you like a Jack-in-the-Box munchie meal after they're faced off of liquor and might have done some coke, and they're just looking at you ravenously like you're all they want. I wish you hang your head in shame at how ridiculously wealthy you are. Okay, I wish you look at your bank account and you're just like, I can't believe I'm so rich. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? I'm embarrassed that I'm this rich. I have to give away all this money. I wish that you walk around with a happiness that can't be taken away from you. That people who are so miserable with their lives and themselves desperately do everything in their power to bring you down to their misery, and they fail every single time. Okay. I wish you succeed in every single goal that is aligned with your development and goodness. And congratulations in advance. That's quite the card to get too. And we do have Chariot, baby. So we are going to gain momentum moving forward. Congrats in advance. It's well deserved. I think you're going to look forward to this sense of rejuvenation. You're going to look forward to things you probably didn't expect would happening in spectacular fashion. And like I just said before, I hope you enjoy it. You guys stay blessed as always. Okay. I appreciate you guys for the gifts, for the donations. Any of you donating to my Cash App, PayPal, I don't even really ask you to, so it does mean a lot. I appreciate the prayers. I appreciate the positive intentions. Okay, and as we push forward, let's keep killing it. Let's keep killing them. Let's keep winning. You guys stay blessed as always.